guess Nate's on questions today. Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, 4 nerds, by nerds, hanging out with these nerds.
Nate the Nerdarch.
Nerdarch is dead.
And we are right dab smack in the beginning of our Quest and Adventures number 50 extravaganza.
Yay, happy December.
Yeah. So I don't know exactly what that means, but I do know we will be giving away the Gruff Pack plus the Ilizan. Ixalan, however you say
X
that.
marks the spot.
I never know if you say Z or X sound for the X.
A plane shift Ixalan adventure for Dungeons and Dragons, Magic the Gathering crossover. Yeah.
That's like a freebie thing we got from PAX Unplugged, but on the other side is I don't think you can really get them.
Yeah, you can't just buy them. So like if you didn't go to a place where they were giving it away,
you didn't get it.
You gotta find somebody who's selling their copy.
Yeah, so we wanted to do something kind of cool for the December giveaway. It's time of holidays, so the Gruff Pack is pretty big. Like there's a lot of cool stuff going on there.
So you get 2 expansion packs, one of which can't actually be gotten yet because it was only available via Kickstarter, and he's still sending out the rewards. We got the base game. And we've got a cool battle mat, play mat, however you want to look at it. Dave and I got to play this game at PAX Unplugged. Had a lot of fun with it. So,
someone is going to be able to battle mutated goats against each other. That's all I'm saying.
Mad wizards with mutated goats.
So I've got the name here put aside. We'll announce that sometime later. I've actually already prepped the email, so all I need to do is hit send. But I didn't want to send it prior to announcing it on the live chat and have things spoiled.
Spoilers. So are we also announcing the next player game, fan game?
That's gonna be for Nate to figure out. Nate just arrived. Just in time to do this. So
let's all take 5 minutes and contemplate this.
Do we have the names? Is what I was.
We don't have the names. I figured we would announce that next week. And if Nate needs me to get those players to him this weekend and contact them specifically beforehand, we can do that.
And so and we'll read the names to you guys next week. And we can also post them up places too, I guess, if we wanted to do that as well.
Absolutely.
So there's that.
All right. I have no idea when I'm running it because of the whole Christmas time coming up and the end of the year. And
the holidays are a factor this month. I know, like for me, when running the RPG Crate game last night, I'm like, I need to look at this material and I need to chop this down because I don't have the time this month to add in a second session. And with what was there, I could have easily had this be like a 4 to 6 hour game without a problem.
Yeah, you could have just powered through all night. Guys played.
No,
like the old days. Get an hour sleep, then do your scouting stuff.
Too old for the old days.
Yeah, I'm not the young spry chicken I used to be.
Adam says he plays 6 hours.
Yeah, I think Megan would have too. She's a trooper.
The players in the game last night were pretty hilarious. It was a lot of fun. The theme of the game was from the sky, so spoilers, but there was literally aliens were crashing into D&D, and the one alien had a terraforming device, and when she tried to explain or use the term terraforming, Megan was like, terraforming? What ripped? And I was like, oh my god. So I totally was in love with that.
I could imagine there were some great things that happened with that.
So a lot of fun things in that game. Go watch it. You'll enjoy it.
Nice. So are we all caught up on the Punisher?
No. I'm like 5 or 6 into it.
I'm 0 into it.
Yeah. Well,
I'm thinking about watching.
Well, do you at least have the pregame done with all his appearances in Daredevil?
No.
Okay.
So I probably should look at that too.
All right. So you haven't done any of that.
I was watching. Okay. So this is the thing. I started watching Daredevil with my wife, and she's like, "This is a bit too violent for me. I don't want to watch her." So we just started watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I guess because it's sci-fi and weirdness, when people explode in the goo, it's okay. But anyway.
Well, it also gets aired on primetime, so it's less violent.
Okay, that makes sense. So we switched from Daredevil to Agents of Shield. We just finished off everything on Agents of Shield that's on Netflix. So I'm trying to figure out something else to watch, but I doubt we're going to go back to Daredevil or Punisher as a co-op watch. So
you're just gonna have to solo that
yeah, I think
dungeon,
I'll have
man.
to solo it somehow.
Yeah, but my wife is not into all of that stuff. She couldn't get into Stranger Things.
Frankly, listen, it's a pain in the ass to watch these shows with someone else anyway. It's much easier if you just get your head down, get in there, and watch it at your leisure instead of having to wait for someone. Fold all that.
Or 7 hours straight.
Yeah,
just get it done.
Just get in there and get it done.
It took months to actually do Game of Thrones, so I get it, I understand. But I am caught up on that one for now.
For now, until the next season drops. The final season, and it might take a while to finish it up.
Well, I mean, it's going to be 6 episodes. I mean, once it's there, it should be just okay. We'll watch it in 1 to 2 sittings.
Now you finally watched Thor Ragnarok.
Yes,
Nice.
I did not.
Yeah, my son loved the reciprocal moment, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. So do you totally get when we did when we're doing Xanathar's Guide and we're breaking down Barbarian? Do you totally get why I said like the Storm one is like that's the Thor one for sure?
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah. So and we have the new trailer that just recently dropped for Infinity War. So that's looking really good.
Yeah, we actually in the live chat that I ran on Thursday, there was some talk and some speculation on that.
All right, so I gotta say, I had this weird moment when I saw the trailer. I was like, this looks really weird. Then I'm like, wait a minute, he just doesn't have all the stuff on. He looks really weird anyway. In comic books.
he always looks really weird.
It's true to
he's
form.
not wearing the helmet.
He's just not wearing all of his stuff.
Yeah, which I don't know if he's gonna eventually appear like fully.
I think so.
Fully wearing it, maybe in part 2 or the end of part 1.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a build, and you're going to see it. The whole thing happen. I think it's going to be amazing. Like technically, the 18 or so movies that have come before that,
it's been building up to this.
It's been building up to this. Yeah. There's 18 prequels for this movie.
Yeah,
for these movies.
If you're going to do a prequel, you might as well do it right, and do like 50 hours worth of movie of prequel, so you can have like 4 hours worth of movie. It's about right.
4 to 5, I would say. Probably 2.5.
I just wonder if we're gonna get some Adam Warlock.
Oh yeah.
Recently watched Doctor Strange again with the kids, and it's like, oh man,
I've come to bargain.
That's some quick thinking there.
Yeah. The Doctor, all of them. I greatly enjoy the Marvel stuff. It'd be cool if we got some like although I don't know what's going on with Netflix and Marvel because Disney is talking about doing their own thing. So it's probably they're probably going to move it to Disney. But I also heard it's going to be cheaper. But the problem with that is like it's still more if you plan on keeping Netflix as well,
right?
And they kind of did the same thing. Was it CBS that did it with the Discover for Star Trek? Like they put one episode on TV, and then like I didn't realize what they had done, and I was looking for it. I'm like I can't find it, and then someone broke the news to me. I'm like I guess I'm not watching that. Screw you, hippies.
I mean, it is Star Trek, but it is also an entire other subscription, basically.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I enjoyed the first one. I know like a lot of people got really angry about it, but I was all right with it. Like, oh my god, there's so many people of color and women in this one. Whatever. Get over it. It's the future.
I don't know.
The original show had a
it was a mixed cast, but yeah,
it's always a mixed cast. Pretty much
it always has
single
been.
Time.
But like 2 of the leads are females and people of color, so I've seen internet angst. But there's always internet angst.
There's always going to be that, and who knows? Maybe South Park gets it right that once we get into the future, it's going to just be one skin tone anyway.
I wouldn't go off of South Park. I would use The Simpsons. They're pretty good predictors of the future. if we're gonna consult a cartoon oracle, let's make sure we consult the
They
right
have
one.
a built-in Homer principle.
or maybe or maybe just look at Futurama and be like, oh, that's what it's gonna be.
What year did they have where aliens showed up and literally annihilated the planet?
Well, you know, that's actually okay. So if there's depends on whether or not you have genetic bottlenecks, and if people actually get genetically evolved to exist in certain systems. Because if you have to travel at normal, like within the restraints of light speed, so you have to travel like a tenth or a 20th of a tenth or 2/10 of the light speed, it's going to take so long to colonize the galaxy. Like 3 million years from now, there's going to be a planet where people like lost a ship, the orbital ship, and they've been stuck there for thousands of years, and aliens are going to come by and be like, oh yeah, we were the same as you about 2 million years ago. So we're not actually aliens, we're just like super distant cousins, like 1/1000th removed cousins.
So remember, guys, if you have any specific questions you'd like to ask, feel free to ask them. Just put GM911 in front of it or the word question so that they're easy to pick out for us.
Absolutely.
So I guess this weekend we don't have any games going on.
Nope, nothing scheduled at the moment.
Next weekend is your game.
Next weekend is my game, which I'm actually going to have to get into the Facebook chat and be like, all right, guys, you know, this is all on you. So I'd much rather have some information ahead of time as opposed to you guys showing up and saying, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. I'm like, I didn't prepare any of that. Well, okay.
I believe we're getting ready to adventure in hell or the abyss. I think that's the plan.
Well, I think that's
the
time. Eventual goal. I think some of the more long-winded players, not long-winded as in talking, but planning, are hoping to actually be a little bit more prepared for going into that kind of situation as opposed to just charge.
I think we should probably just storm the gates of the abyss. and
your campaign 6 months early.
Well, I really didn't see that happening, but you know,
I've got a lot of plans in store, and it takes a couple months, I think, to do it. So,
do any of them involve the blood demon?
Prep for the blood demon, but not.
He's like, nah, I'm going to set up some merchant deals.
Yeah. I've been neglecting my warehouse and business. I got to get back to that.
See, now if you were human, you could be like, you could totally kick the can down the road and be like, you know, by the time he reestablishes himself and gets things going, I'll be dead.
I won't be here.
I won't be here. Like, I'll be like, it'll be my grandkids.
Yeah, I'm just going to pass down this sword, tell them a little story. They won't believe it until something bad happens. And then they'll be like, it was all true. It's a classic.
Father.
I want my children to experience that.
But as
the human.
But since you're an elf, like you might be there when they show up again.
It's like, oh man, I just feel like I just got my business rolling in Griffin Gaff, and then bam, guy comes
Demon
back.
Lord.
Yeah. That's why I'm gonna resurrect some people. This all gets sorted out.
Oh, that's your plan, resurrection?
Yeah, I want to go around and hunt for people who are like heroes that have died less than 100 years ago, and I'm going to bring them back to life.
Well, don't go get the original heroes of the town because they weren't very good.
Well, they would be like our sidekicks. I'd let them know that. That's part of the condition of coming
squires.
Back.
They get to be
they're
squires,
like second tier.
Maybe. And
since they've already died once and they're back because of me, they gotta get out in front when it's necessary. they gotta take that Balrog flame whip or whatever for me. So there's gonna be some conditions to resurrection for them.
Wow,
I see.
It's one last huzzah, man.
Here, the demon lord's allies have already killed you once. Do you want to come back so you can die again?
So you can reclaim your honor. I'll sell it. I'll put on the sizzle for them.
Yeah, they're gonna all be up about it. By the time,
probably not.
By the time you're done, they're like, I can't wait to jump in front of that Balrog whip for you. Like, I live for that flaming.
Now get out there and show me.
Yeah, this is where I just bleed Nate's money bags. And
all of his. That's gems. Another thing. I have to liquidate some assets to be able to get some gems. So we do have a question.
Anybody want this artifact spear? Only 40,000. Yeah.
Hey, no.
I'm working on the important things like getting married before I go off to hell. Then.
Oh, I thought
because you might not come back.
Here, I had thought you actually had left that off to the wayside.
No. I gotta sire some whelps while I'm going.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, so our plan is we need to consolidate and kind of get our last things in order in case we don't come back.
Nice.
Which for me would take several months.
Yeah, he wants to like raise heroes, and I'm just like, I just need to get married and knock her up, and I'm good to go.
And you know the dwarven race will continue.
That's right. I contributed my part.
So, question from Next Level 88. Speaking of the Abyss, have any thoughts on demon possession? I was thinking of throwing an Ash vs. Evil Dead vibe into a campaign. Demon possession with charming, I think, is a little easier to do at lower levels, but higher levels, I don't know.
It depends upon what you're looking at. Whether you're talking about possessing NPCs, then it's just a hand wave, do what you want. When you're possessing player characters, it becomes a little bit more challenging.
There's like two circumstances. One is you actually get the player to work with you and agree to being the long running big bad. The problem with that is you're going to develop trust issues in your group. And the other thing is you actually have to go through the right way of doing it and having them possessed.
Right.
Mike Gold said possession exists in Ghosts, so reference in the Monsters Manual would be a good start. I was like, that's a good idea. So thank you, Michael.
In Dave's Open Legend game, there was a time where something took me over during combat, and I totally exploited a weakness and attacked the weakest character in the party because I knew, well, I'm intelligent, so I'm going to use my intelligence, and I can take this person out. So I did. It's the only time I've ever actually given my all when the tables have turned that way. Usually I'm much more on, I'm on the player side, and I'm gonna, let me just half-ass this attempt and see what happens. But I'm like, this guy's intelligent. If I don't play it properly, I think I'll feel bad, down the road.
I feel like I cheated and metagamed.
Yeah, I feel bad that I beat up Megan's character, but
yeah. I'm pretty sure she gave you like it's okay, Bunny, but if you ever do that again, I will fucking kill you. I will end you.
Yeah,
I will make you wish you were ended.
Yeah.
It happened.
Dr. Lucy had a little bit of that to her.
So Gallifrey has a question. How's Ryan doing, and what's he up to?
Who? No.
The artist formerly known as Nerdarchy Ryan.
As far as I know, he's good. He's over there producing St. George and the Dragon. He's been working on that. I haven't actually talked to him that much. The last time I talked to him was one of our gaming sessions. He showed up, so we see him.
It was about a few weeks ago.
Yeah, so he's kind of busy doing his thing. We're busy doing our thing, so we do not talk as much. And even though he's my brother, for the holidays, he kind of he's been going to his girlfriend's family with them as well. So I haven't seen him for that either. Oh, he keeps asking because he usually does Christmas at our houses. It's like, is Ryan coming for Christmas? I'm like, I don't know. We'll find out Christmas Day. So I'll ask eventually.
Yeah, but he's over on his Dream Syndicate and something ephemera. I can't remember all of it. Arts, crafts, and ephemera or something.
It's very long.
It's a bit long and it's hard to remember, but he's over there making his sculpts and things.
So you can follow him there. I don't know. We've put the link places before. We'll put more links. Oh, by the way, guys, for those of you who have given us feedback on the app, thank you very much. And for those of you that don't know, we are now accepting beta testers for our Nerdarchy dice app. So it is out there, and we've got some really good ones, like ranging from it's kind of ugly to it's kind of hard to use at first, but once you figure it out, it's so someone said once they figured it out, and it just took a little bit of playing with, it was actually one of the best, most powerful dice apps that they've used.
Oh wow.
So that was kind of flattering. So yeah. I'm sure our guy Adam will be happy to hear that, who plays in Ted's game.
But it's ugly. It's our Nerdarchy colors.
Yeah, I know. What do you mean it's ugly? It's our branding.
That could go in many different directions.
Yeah. So, but eventually, and there's a link in the description to check that out. So eventually we will probably work with some different skins and get some different packs in there for you guys to play around with, maybe like us saying stay nerdy or whatever.
but you can send any feedback over to us. We're adding it, we're compiling it to be able to pass along to the developers and see how we can make this thing awesome or more awesome.
Yeah, and I believe our developer is working on bringing on an Android person. So when that happens, we'll then get a conversion for Android as well. So that is definitely in the works. It's just not there yet.
John Clark has a question. I'm DMing for my 5 friends who wanted to play, and 4 of them are good interactive players, but the other one is a murderer. And has been making problems. I don't know how to approach him. Tie him up, throw him in a closet, you're done. No, it's kind of
Nerdarchy does not condone
no tying up, kidnapping, or anything like that. So that was
officially.
Just
we don't condone illegal activities.
Yes. So that comes down to, we've had that question a lot in different iterations. Is basically there's a player, I don't know how to deal with him because he's doing X and I want him to do Y. So really, in the end, you can't make him do Y, but you can just
discuss.
You can discuss things, but you can also. If you don't want to do discussion and you want to just go straight to gaming style, you can, in fact, influence the way he plays based on like risk rewards or like things within the game. So, for example, if he's just a murder hobo and he kills somebody in town, there's going to be repercussions for that. Someone's going to eventually, maybe not the first one, maybe if he's like really good, he disposes of the body in a river or something. There's ways of getting around that. But in the end, if you're going to have somebody go around and killing people or killing things a lot, there's going to be a situation in which that was the wrong answer. And the rest of the party is going to pay the penalty for that. And if it affects him as well, then that can have him reconsider what he's doing as his like main strategy.
Angry group of paladins that all have plenty of smite. That can answer a lot of questions.
Or eventually they're going to do that to the wrong person and they needed information. Now the party's stuck, or now the party's being hunted for crimes that they may or may not have committed, or some of them. So I guess the other thing is peer pressure. So like if you can have their bad behavior start to affect the rest of the party as well, because they become guilty by association, then they might, influence the behavior as well. So there's different things like that to take into consideration.
So part of it is going to be what is the other what the other members of the party doing? Are they against this type of behavior? Are they siding with him when bad stuff happens? If it's a player issue versus a character issue, that can come to a discussion. But if you have NPCs that are clearly evil that are contacting him, be like, hey, I noticed you're doing this stuff here.
We should team up.
We should team up. Maybe that actually will be like, oh, well, this guy is clearly evil and he wants to work with me. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. It's a challenge to deal with this kind of stuff. So try different things. See what works.
In the old days, we had the mists of Ravenloft to fix these problems.
Too evil. This is where you're going.
We got a place for you.
Yep, that character's gone. I'll make a new one.
If you can be evil enough, perhaps you can get a kingdom of your own.
Something to strive for.
Yeah, life goals.
So Zaref Gaming's question. So in the past, when writing a character backstory, I would create whole cultures with towns they're from. Sorry, what's wrong there? Or organizations they're involved with. And I was wondering, is that too much? So, did you want the answer to that?
Do I have to read it as your GM? Did I get it too long? Didn't read.
All right. Yeah. Will you gripe at the DM if he does not read it all?
All right. So there's a couple different ways to look at that. Number one, what is your DM's reaction? If you're Dave and he's like, oh God, I don't want to read a 3-page backstory for a one shot. I don't care about this. If you're playing a long-standing game in a world that the DM is giving you agency to create stuff, I think it's fantastic. Okay, you've given me town names, you've given me organizations that I can add into the world. You've cared enough about this character that it shows growth, and I now have things that I can work with. I can have NPCs attached to this town, to this organization, and be able to have these things pop up. And, it becomes a detriment because, oh no, the town that you care about is being attacked. Well, clearly you have to go deal with that. So you're going to want to go do that.
My biggest thing with that is do it for yourself, right? Do it because you enjoy doing it. do it because you're a GM that'll allow you to have some agency in the world, but let it come out in the game. Let it come out organically. Some of the stuff may never come out. Some of it, some of it may take a while, but the rest of the players and stuff like that, they could kind of be introduced to that stuff early on. And the Session Zero is a great place to talk about this, where you can kind of like do the highlights reel of your backstory. And this way the DM can grab some things to sink into. The other players might as well. So I think it's good. Just have an understanding of what that means.
Yeah, you don't want to info dump on people. So if your expectation is you write a 3-page backstory and then you expect everybody to like sit and hear it or something or read it, then that's like way out of line, I think. But I do read the backstories even if they're long, but I play like 1/10 of the games that Dave does, so it's like a difference of proportion on how much time I can spend on something and my interest.
And also, like, it depends on like how relevant the backstory is going to actually be to the game, right? If it's a bunch of stuff that's never really going to come up and it's like so specific as like going down your character's family tree and lineage and from the beginning, if it reads like Genesis, that's too much.
Yeah, that's true.
So did that answer the question?
Maybe. Now he's confused. He's like, I don't know what to do. If I'm playing as Nate's game, he'll read it so I can do 6 pages.
No, don't do it. I still would prefer 1 or 2 max.
A paragraph. Can we say it in a paragraph? Or at least give the crib notes, and then all is good.
If you're going to play like a year-long campaign or something like that, it's nice to get something so you kind of know the direction of a character. And if you're not going to have like an extensive Session Zero or people like think of things at Session Zero and then come back to you, then you can read it and be like, okay, this is better than having another meeting before the actual game. But if it's just like, I just wrote 6 pages because I like to, then that's rough if everybody decides that they like to write 6 pages.
No, and that's where it gets into like know why you're doing the thing that you're doing and who you're doing it for. So, I would encourage anyone to do it if they enjoy doing it. But what is it? I think Garibay says do 15 pages or something like that.
Rob Hell 82 questions. New DM here. I want one of the RP's wooden spoon to be a funny / useless. I think he meant PCs. To be a funny / useless wooden spoon. Useless magic wooden spoon. Sorry. Where can I find some funny examples?
Xanathar's guide has the common magic items.
It does. I don't know if it's specifically if there's a spoon in there or not. But I mean, your imagination would be like kind of a great place to to delve into.
It could be a spoon that stirs itself or serves you like an unseen servant.
Or spices things.
Yeah,
I would say like any food consumed off of it is not too hot.
It's just right.
It's just right.
If it's supposed to be cold, it's cold. If it's supposed to be hot, it's hot.
That's where I would go. You want a magic spoon? There you go.
I had a stirring stick in one of my games that had dwarven runes on it. It was a mead stick. It was like a longer stick for stirring up mead and mixing things together. And it just had a whole bunch of recipes on it. And its only magic was that it like counted as a brewing tool for like doing brew stuff, and it didn't deteriorate. So it was like a long lasting wooden item.
So it could be as ridiculous as it adds this cinnamon spice to anything you're cooking when you want it to. This is weird the way these tables are broken up. I don't know why they're broken up this way. It's like there's a. Now I get it.
Yeah, Adam, we got a food warming spoon. Chris Neves, we've got a wooden spoon of endless oatmeal. I like the name for that one. That's good.
Endless oatmeal.
Yeah, endless oatmeal.
Yeah, I don't see it. I definitely don't see any. You don't see any spoons in here. I can't believe they did not. Like you have tankards, you have a talking doll. Walloping ammunition. What that is? Pole collapsing, pot of awakening.
Pot of awakening.
Spoon of awakening.
Yeah. So you have what we call the emoji shield.
I remember that one.
Yeah, staff of bird calls.
Yeah, we've got a Zareth Gaming, Wooden Spoon of Punishment. Mike Gold, self-stirring, changes flavor, etc.
Heward's handy spice pouch. You could probably do the same thing with a spoon. So there's definitely, you could look in here and you'd get some inspiration for different ideas, or whatever you can think of. I think is perfectly fine. But we definitely I think our group as a whole likes useless magic items. We always have. We've had a fondness for them.
Yeah, I think this has inspired me to draft a whole huge section of them.
And also too, you can even look at the trinkets. So the trinkets, you can just tweak them a little bit.
Yeah, and turn them from kind of more mysterious to
magical.
Well, yeah. I guess some of them are, useless magic items because you don't know what they do or why they're there.
Right.
Like a stone,
or they do a thing,
floats,
or they do a thing, but it's not useful.
Yeah. A spoon that floats.
Yeah.
And will never fall in your soup.
A stone that floats, but only when you're not looking at it. Whatever. So there's definitely room for that. What?
A spoon of flying, Mike Gold, only good for tiny creatures. Like a broomstick.
Yeah. Only good for tiny winged creatures.
Tiny winged creatures.
Come on, flapping those wings, man. It's tiring. So it's the same thing. So our Marvel phase rep game has really been heating up. We're having a lot of fun with that, and the guys have been discussing what we might do for a season 3 to up the ante even more. Because during that game, if you guys, I don't know if you guys are watching or not, but we do intros and outros that Professor Bill puts together using amateur voice actors, and then through the whole thing, we just put together a trailer for it recently. Or I shouldn't say Travis just recently put together a trailer for it recently, which was really, really tight. But it's funny, all the effort we put into this game, it's been dead for 30 years. We're having fun with it. That's all that matters. And we're terrible heroes. We finally, I think we're 4 or 5 sessions in. We finally came up with a team name.
What is the team name?
Hunts Point Heroes. Because it's in Hunts Point, New York, is where the sessions are taking place.
Cool.
I think we officially have a logo now.
Is it an H with a point?
It is not.
That would have been good.
That was not one of them. It's all typography type stuff.
Ooh.
So yeah, so we've been having fun with that. We're thinking of ways that we can up the ante even more in season 3. It's gonna be ridiculous. But we still have to just survive season 2 first.
Yeah. When I stop over there to watch some, you guys are all having fun.
Oh yeah, the fans watching in the chat are great. We had one session that so the way it works is we beam the Zoom from my computer basically to the guy that we're gonna keep that does the production for us. Well, he had a problem with his internet. It was kept fading in and out. So literally it kind of recorded it, but it wasn't streaming it.
Okay.
And we still had 24 people hang out in the chat for the whole entirety of the thing. And Megan would just do a play-by-post almost in the chat of what was going on in the game.
Wow.
So yeah, I thought that was kind of crazy. And we've established this group of animals now that are always in the chat because they were there in the one chat and they've come over to the hero side. So there's a raven and several rats and a dog that the chat now role plays as animals. I'm not sure exactly how I feel about it yet. Part of me finds it a little creepy. Are our fans a bunch of furries?
Having an active fan group for the live chat is really great.
It is. That's one of the things that makes that game a lot of fun.
So we've crossed our halfway mark. Do we want to do the roll call, announce the winner?
Yeah, I guess we'll start the roll call, and then while starting the roll call, we can bring out the stuff and announce the winner. I have no concept of time because I have nothing in front of me.
That's my fault. I did not pull out the tablet.
I was just going to say it, Ted, so you guys are right on time, basically.
Boom.
So we got that. We got that.
Perfect. We blocked Nate. Nate no longer exists. He's hiding. No, to make him officially hiding, you have to do this. So only his eyes are showing. That snake's stealthed.
I'm like 90% covered now.
The other thing is, we don't always announce this, but the wonderful people over at Limitless Adventures allow me to give out one of their monster packs. So when I send out the giveaway email, there's always a PDF attached to that as well. So our winner for this awesome pack of game and monster manual and adventure is Eric Schaefer.
Congrats.
So we will be sending an email to you, Eric Schaefer. If you're in the chat, say something. If not, he will be getting an email and he'll be getting a bunch of cool stuff sent to him. And then we will find out where in the world he is from. We've had a run of international fans winning lately.
It happens. It comes and goes.
It does, but we appreciate you no matter where you are in the world.
Absolutely.
Now, sorry for whoever I forgot, but I know you said you were in Disney World area, but I don't remember who said that, and I can't find it. Comrade? Okay.
2261?
Yeah, you mentioned me.
Yeah, so he's in Disney World. So let's see. We've got Uncle Peter in Toronto, Zarif Gaiman, Ruidoso, New Mexico, Ranger 1 in Sacramento, Cali, Grin Lin in Tampa, Florida, Kyle S. is in Jersey, Doug is in, that's the Nerdarchy in Chief, Cleveland. Rogelio is in Utah. Ranger Rory is in Missouri. Kyle is in the chat. Comic Cook University, the sewers under Hunts Point. Lincoln is in Sweden. Rhett Brook is in Texas. AJCF is in Eindhoven, the Netherlands. Comrade's back, by the way. That was quick. John Clark is in Maru, Louisiana. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Josh is in 56, Arkansas. GXBMB is talking about Lost Treasure Map. Sean Orwin is in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Lance is in Utah. Got Ben Murchison is in New Brunswick. Hale is in Maine. Brian is in Georgia. Jose is in Tampa. Adam is in Kansas City. Mike Gold is in Nova Scotia, Canada. And I think that, GXBMB is in Dallas, Texas. He clarified.
Now we know. How many people we got hanging out today?
We have, I don't know how to see that on my thing.
Oh, and I would apologize for Nate mispronouncing all of those things. You definitely did not pronounce them the way I do.
My thing hasn't updated. It still says this amount of people waiting. Upcoming event.
Nice.
So it didn't get to that. So
you maybe have to refresh the screen or something.
Yeah.
Don't we have the ability to see there somewhere?
We do, but it's all the way over there.
Yeah, it's still not.
I don't have my binoculars. Yeah. This is where Kyle S was very handy. He could have answered for us.
Well, we have some things in the work that we might get a replacement.
Well, you can never truly replace Kyle S.
People are saying we have 69 viewers.
But there is potential that someone has reached out to us and they would like to be an official intern.
Yes.
Through like an intern program and everything, and we're just trying to figure out how to jump through the hoops and make that happen. And it's through the military. Hey, if any of you guys actually know how to do that, right? And you're not the dude that was trying to do it, and you want to reach out to us through nerdarchy@gmail.com and walk us through it and help us. We're not really smart, so that would be great because we could definitely make use of an intern. And he's in New Jersey right now, so.
Yeah, he's here. He's interested, and he's been watching the channel for a while. And he's like, "Hey,"
and we will work him like a slave,
like an intern.
Did I say that out loud?
He's like, I really want to get into this stuff, and I feel what you've done has really impacted me and impacted the niche, the industry, and I'm willing to do this. And it was just amusing when you're used to dealing with. I hate to use this term, but average people. And I got him on the phone and it was just like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm like, whoa. You need to
civilians. You mean civilians?
Yes.
I think that was the word.
Civilians versus military. It was very, very interesting to have that conversation.
Sorry, Christopher. I missed you. You're in Bucharest, Romania. Hopefully I
Nice.
didn't screw that up, but welcome. And we've got some Lance says has an intern who edits on his channel. So is that, I guess if he could give us any information on how that all goes, that would be interesting.
There would be. Oh, especially when that edits.
Yes. Very much so.
Yeah. But we're trying to, this is an official thing, and we're trying to figure out how to do it. I mean, we're actually a company, but it's weird. Our company is based between Ted's basement and my house, I guess. In paperwork somehow works that way.
This is
we shoot on site.
This is technically the location, but the actual business address is not here.
Yeah. Businessing is hard. I'd much rather just play games and have the money show up. But apparently there's this other stuff we have to do too if we want to eat and feed our kids. What are you going to do? Okay,
Lance, if you want to email us about that, just nerdarchy@gmail.com. And Ace of Spades, sorry, I didn't notice you were in Israel, but I've noticed you. You have been noticed.
You've been noticed.
Nate passed the spot check. Eventually.
Yes,
sort of.
Eventually.
Someone performed the help action, and
advantage. I'm getting shouted out through text, so I saw it the second time.
Stop yelling at me! Don't hit me! I'm just a nerd. Beat him hard.
Well, that is all of the questions that I've seen so far.
Yeah. So we got, I think we can actually announce this. I meant to look up the information. I believe it is the weekend of March 17th that Nerdarchy will actually be appearing as guest at a convention in Cleveland, Ohio, the Concoction Convention. So you can just double check. If you Google Concoction, it comes up. And we will be doing 2 panels, running 3 games. And the Thursday before the convention, it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're planning to do a meetup. So if you're in the area or you want to come early, we're going to plan something. We don't know what scope yet, but we're gonna have to figure out how to organize it better than we've organized some things in the past. But we would like to do something with you guys, whether it's play games, a combination of board games and RPGs, or run D&D games for the evening or whatever. We'll probably buy pizza or something because that seems to be a thing we do.
that is a bit of a norm.
So basically, it'll probably be an over glorified pizza party we throw for you guys if you're interested in showing up. But check out Concoction. We are now contracted to show up and do a couple events, play some games. So we're definitely going to be there. And one of the things we definitely want to do is come in early so that we can hang out with the fans, with you guys. And pretty much it probably means we're just going to play D&D with you guys. So it'll be 3 more games of D&D going on or something, because when we get a group of fans together, it's kind of what we do. And eat pizza.
Eat pizza, play games, have fun.
Yeah, basically.
So if you're going to be in that area or are able to get to that area for that, certainly hit us up and let us know. I mean, the more people we know that are going to be there, the more we can have things planned.
Yeah, I know. Obviously Doug is right there in Cleveland. Megan is a couple hours away, so we're hoping when we do the actual panels and stuff to get those folks as well involved. It would be really nice for it to not just be us, but also some of the extended Nerdarchy staff that maybe they're not in the limelight as much, but they're super valuable and important to us. They do a lot of work for us. There's so many people over there that work on the website and do things. I think Asa and Drew and Nigel. And we're bringing in more people all the time. If you happen to be someone who wants to express yourself and you're a decent writer, you can also contact us. And we're always looking for volunteers over on the website. Eventually, that is going to be freelance work that we're going to do. Once we hit a goal of $2,000 a month over on the Patreon, we'll then be able to actually pay people to actually write articles for us. And that's where we want to get to as well. If you are a fan of the website and maybe the Patreon rewards don't really entice you and you're not, you're not really all that interested in them and you just want to throw us a buck on the Patreon, that's going to get us closer to that goal so we can then afford to start paying the writers, and they deserve to be paid. We just don't have the fundage to do it right now, especially because we have a lot of articles that go out.
Absolutely. And
So,
that number is, kind of in flux at any given time, the number of authors that we have. And we're always looking for more. We're always looking for ways that we can support those. We have some things in the works that might wind up, being it might actually produce something. So it's just all always in the works. Sorry, I'm talking in circles.
We have a question from Adam Foisey. He had asked it previously, but it's about the epic level thing on the Facebook post for the Kickstarter last night, is what he's saying. I guess did you post it last night?
I did.
Kickstarter? Okay. So he is interested in talking about post level 20 characters. So the content to challenge them and basically what we know about that Kickstarter.
We don't actually know anything about the Kickstarter other than I saw it in my Facebook feed yesterday. And I was like, oh, these guys, they're actually coming on the 14th. We're going to have one of those guys on, Ryan. He's on the calendar, which is going to be obviously way past when the Kickstarter is. We weren't able to wrangle them in sooner, unfortunately.
We met them at PAX Unplugged.
We did.
They seem to be pretty cool guys.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, when we have them on, we can talk about it, but that's going to be after the Kickstarter. So, we can't really help you make any decisions with that. If you're looking at it and you think, oh, an extra 10 levels to my game, and this looks like it'll be a good thing, then you can check that out. And I feel like from what I read was they had another product that's kind of getting folded into this that was kind of like epic level stuff, but this is like an expansion on that. And that's all just what I noticed from just looking at the Kickstarter. So if you check out their website, maybe you can get more information from there as well. And since I haven't played with any characters that are higher than like 15th, 17th level,
I have.
It would be hard for me to really weigh in on epic level. I think you guys in my Spelljammer were like 15th or 17th.
17th.
Yeah, you guys were 17th. And had we played this year, it was going to be 20th level, and then I was going to end it, right, and start over and do something else.
Not go on to epic.
And not go on to epic, yeah.
In the secret group, Company of the Nag, Sam Caldwell had run a 40th level game, and it wasn't something where you could like piecemeal through multiple multi-classings. It was you pick two classes, take them both to level 20, and that's what you're getting to play. He made a progressed chart for proficiency bonus and spellcasting if you wound up taking two classes that had access to spellcasting. And I made a ridiculous mystic monk that, well, it was ridiculous. But he put us against like 3 modified Tarrasques. And it was a fun little adventure.
So yeah, and so that was more of even that is still not really epic level. It's more like a 20th level Gestalt, which is something.
Well, we had the hit points of both.
Yeah.
So like it really was 40th level, but you weren't taking a single class beyond 20th.
Mm-hmm.
So there was definitely that lack of any of that stuff that you would see from previous editions. We weren't dealing with, boons and epic level, oh, well, I'm just going to shatter this mountain because I'm Titanic strength and what have you.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we don't have a lot to talk on that quite yet. Maybe one of our games will someday be epic level, but I feel like even the games we're running, it's like our goal is to get to 20th level and then start something new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Epic level is just one of those things that you have to have a world that supports that. And if you're not playing in a world that can contend with characters of that magnitude, then there's really no point to go beyond it.
Or you're like cosmic jaunting or something.
Yeah, go into a different plane of existence.
Yeah. So like those kind of things I think are possible if that's an interest.
So we've got Christopher's question. So when is Nerdarchy coming to a European con?
One of the things that would help with that is we got invited. But that is a bit trickier. That is going to be expensive. is one of the huge obstacles. So like as you guys, a lot of you guys know or don't know, like I work Nerdarchy full time right now. It is my job, and it's a bit of a pay cut from what I was doing before. Nerdarchy has been able to do some really interesting things and is generating revenue enough for me to do it full time. But at the same time, like I suck up most of that revenue to pay for me to work for Nerdarchy. So we have this interesting conundrum of because I'm working full time, I'm putting a lot of effort and energy into Nerdarchy, and we've had a lot of cool opportunities that have popped up and are popping up. But we don't have the funds that we would have if I wasn't working Nerdarchy full time to take advantage. So it's like a catch-22. But we would love, like we keep jokingly saying Nerdarchy World Tour, but like that's something that's going to happen. It may not be for 5 years, or 2 years or whatever it ends up being, but it's definitely something we want to do.
Absolutely. Get on the road and go game and meet other, fans, other people in the niche, in the industry. I think it'd be an amazing thing.
I concur, and it'd be cool to go over to Europe and write it off as a business trip.
Oh, absolutely.
But it'd be even better to go over to Europe and have someone pay for us to go there.
Absolutely.
Well, the more cons things we do, the more we get out there, the more those kind of opportunities will present themselves.
Yeah, and honestly, if you want to see us places and you want us to go places, one of the biggest things you can do and help us out is reach out to those places. Like you want to see us at GaryCon or Game Hall Con, like reach out to them and be like, hey, this convention would be so much better with a Nerdarchy presence. Can we make that happen? We're just not as popular and sexy as some of the other ones out there. The younger kids doing the D&D thing. Get off my lawn.
Well, that's it. The internet's done.
The internet is done. Awesome.
We've got a few more minutes left, though.
Nice. So, me and Ted have been hammering out some videos for the upcoming week.
Yeah, in fact, we did. We
liked the one so much we did it twice.
For some reason, our sound cut out mid-video, and it just kind of screwed us, and we don't know why.
Yeah, the joys of the internet. So since we're about to start shooting some videos, is there any videos you guys want to see done? We're always open to suggestions and requests, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and if you have any GM901s, you can always email us at nerdarchy@gmail.com if sometime later it comes to you rather than in the next couple of minutes.
And viewer suggestions as well, whether you want to see, how to deal with this problem or
something D&Dized.
Something D&Dized. And don't say anime movies. Don't say video game characters.
But other than that, say whatever you want.
Yeah, and we might be able to do it.
Yeah, so yeah, we're usually all right to do like superheroes, especially stuff that is kind of like in the mainstream now with all like the Marvel and DC movies.
Did we ever D&Dize Dresden?
I feel like we did.
I feel like we did.
I was listening to one of them recently, and I'm like, he's definitely part artificer.
He's part artificer. Did you come to that conclusion?
I did.
And he's got his alchemist toolkit.
Well, yeah, kind of the way the magic works in that world. That they use the what is that word? Thaumaturgy a lot. Thaumaturgy, yeah. So for a lot of their workings.
He's a artificer sorcerer, hands down.
I think he's an artificer sorcerer wizard. I don't know, maybe.
Oh, we've got a request for D&Dizing Star-Lord.
Okay.
Star-Lord, dude. Come on.
Star-Lord, man.
And Mario.
Guild artisan.
Yeah, I was going to definitely say guild artisan.
Italian.
I think he's a monk, dude. He's got to be a monk. He's breaking blocks with his fists.
And his head.
And
stomping people.
He doesn't use his head. He does this. The fist goes above the head. He does not headbutt them.
That's one tough punch. If it explodes.
So, and sometimes
Jump
he's a Way of the Four Elements monk.
Oh yeah. And he gets bigger when he eats weird mushrooms and
Maybe that's
comes
all
back from the dead.
Maybe that's all just in his head though.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, there you go. Guild Artisan Monk. Mario.
Yeah. So I had a weird twist in one of my games, my Scarlet Sisterhood game.
Okay.
And I got to blender them with quicklings. I love quicklings. Like they can't take a hit. And one of them did get hit, but they did 9 points of damage. And they have 10 hit points.
Oh wow.
Well, yeah, because if you use quicklings, you either have to use a reaction to
wait for him,
wait for him, or you go after the attack of opportunity. So I may have cheated a little, but I would have them dash from cover and use stealth, and I'd make them make perception checks to see them, in order to attack. But I figured it seems legit to me, right? Because with 120-foot movement in 6 seconds, I think they can run in and run out without being seen.
That's fast.
6 seconds, be able to attack and move another 60 feet. Yeah, that is pretty fast.
Yeah, that's my interpretation.
I mean, it's no Tabaxi monk, mystic, cannon fire jumper, whatever we had made that one time.
Yeah, but imagine if you started with a quickling instead.
Oh yeah.
When you start with a move of 120,
that's a nice base to start with.
And they're fun because as long as they're moving, you have disadvantage to hit them. So they're a bit tough. But yeah, the total curveball I got was they were going to another town, to Ryler, to take out this long-standing rival that had just sent assassins after them.
Mm-hmm.
And they get there and they're like, nope, that's not what we're doing. We're going to go find dirt on my father-in-law instead.
You're like, all right, this is how it's going to go.
Yeah.
Nope, that's not what they wanted.
That's not what they wanted. And so they're going to do some kind of because he's some kind of Fey Pack warlock. And so they wanted to investigate something. All right. But that was fun because I got to use a Yeth Hound and the Fey Pack warlock and the quick was all that was just out of Volo's guide. So kudos to Volo's guide.
Yes.
Nice.
All right. We've got a long list of suggestions and things. So I'm just going to go right through them. Chris Neves wants to set up a con in Midwest Montana area. So he's interested in resources for that.
There's this really awesome YouTube channel called Nerdarchy that likes going to cons. I can talk to them.
Yeah, but we don't.
But we don't actually know anything,
and we don't know what's over in Montana. Lance is interested in how to do voices. Kind of afraid to try to do a voice for an NPC because it always kind of sounds like him.
I will actually say Mike the Piper and Andrew Armstrong have great series on that, and that would be way better than anything we could tell you because we do some voices, but we don't do them to that level. So I would say check out those videos, and that's a great resource. They're great resources.
And we have what about an ideal home table setup and various ways to put a map in front of the players, maybe tag onto it that sources to build a D&D table. So basically our home setup. We had a discussion on what we bring to the table and table setup, I think, before.
Yeah, we've talked about some of that stuff. But I think they're talking more specifically. There's a couple companies like Carolina Games and there's other ones as well. I think Chic Geek did a thing for a while too.
We saw a place in Geekins on that at the PAX Unplugged that had specialized.
Yeah, Carolina Games, and they do different ones. And their tables are kind of cool because they they're regular tables and then they transform into a gaming table. Mm-hmm. The top comes off or whatever, or there's a giant hutch and it comes down to make a gaming table. They have a streaming table, and oh crap, what's his name? Clint Black works over at Pinnacle, but also owns Carolina Games. So his family are actually furniture makers. And then he had this epiphany. He's like, you know what? There's no people that are actually in the business and gamers making tables for gamers. So he wanted to step into that space and do it. And they're not cheap because go furniture shopping.
Yeah.
and you'll understand.
Yeah, on hardwood tables and things.
Yeah.
They're expensive. I mean, like hardwood tables in general. So Mike Gold says he would like to get down to Jersey to DM for a nerd game with zero prep to show it can be done. Uncle Peter is requesting Nerdcraft. I'd like Nerdcraft too.
What do you mean the show can be done? We do it all the time.
Well, I think he wants to like drive up to the house, come down, and just be like, set up the Zoom screen and go.
Yeah, that's fine. We can meet you halfway.
Oh, that's a good idea.
More than welcome to come here.
Seth is a video over the proper use of mind flayers. Mike Gold says D&D as yourself in alternate worlds.
I think we played that game a little bit.
Yeah, we have done kind of that by playing the game where we're saving the world. D&D as Taylor Swift. A Wood play a race idea. Ranger Royce's Quicklings are awesome.
Taylor Swift, human entertainer bard.
I am.
Kyle Ellis wants to make a God of Beauty based on Bob Ross.
Nice. She might be a fighter, or rogue after what she did to that pickup truck. Maybe barbarian. I don't know. We can work with it. We can work with that.
Anything else, Nate?
There's stuff I'm just trying to. Drunken Master that uses rescanned coffee as a hyperness instead. I guess like a caffeinated or energy drink. Drunken Master.
Yeah, he just like vibrates all over the place instead of staggering and stumbling.
Ranger Royce said he TPK'd a 5th level party with a group of Quicklings, so he must have been doing it right.
I believe it. They just run in, hit everyone, and run out, and then do it again. Well, the fun thing about Quicklings is like they attack. You may or may not see them, and then blood's everywhere.
Yeah, and JD Boats 89 says, "You guys in Jersey? He's getting out of the military and he's moving back to Monmouth County.
Oh, nice.
So he's looking for local game groups and places to play D&D.
Who was that?
JD Boats 89.
Monmouth County. I wouldn't say you're exactly local.
Well, you're not in California at that point, so
About an hour or two.
Something like that. I mean, we're in South Jersey, so Monmouth is up north.
Yep. There's from Lance, Santa would be maybe one of the most terrifying of all NPCs. And there's some discussions about knowing when you're awake and knowing when you're sleeping and things. And,
read the Dresden Files.
Yeah.
Didn't we D&D Santa Claus?
I think so.
Santa Claus or Sandy Claus?
And Comic Book University says War Eagle Keep on Instagram can show you how to make a good gaming table.
Oh yeah, his setup is friggin' fantastic. That is absolutely true. We'll have to go. Maybe we need to go storm War Eagle Keep and guerrilla style and check out his setup. But yeah, I think it was after one of our games, like he was screen sharing and showing us his setup.
Okay, and I think that's going to be it.
That's going to be it.
It's hard to distinguish them talking to each other in anything that they're trying to get across to us.
So. What time is it?
It's
after 3.
After 3.
Oh, okay. Then it really is it. He wasn't kidding. Well, guys, we want to thank you for hanging out with us. Remember, download the Nerdarchy app so we can get more input from you guys, so we can make it better,
and eventually get out of beta.
And we're going to be moving into Android with that as soon as possible. We'll be sending out emails for people that are going to be in the next game. Start emailing us and talking to us about Concoction Cleveland for 2018, because that's going to be a lot of fun. We want to start putting together a list of people that are going to be there so we can set something up really cool. So with that, until next time, guys, stay nerdy.